Major, I'm just processing what could have happened on that particular day. But let me pose a question this way. How did it happen that 16 armed Nigerian soldiers were slaughtered in that manner? Could this be because the people who committed this heinous crime were so much in number and they were overwhelmed, or is it a question of armory or powerful weapons they use that overpower the military? From your experience, how did this occur? Because people are feeling like 16 soldiers killed. How?
You see, it's unfortunate. We have spent a lot of money to undertake what we call an amnesty program, which was designed for those militia groups to lay down their arms and get amnesty. If after the amnesty and the purported surrendering of weapons, we still have local communities that have sophisticated weapons like this, it calls for, re-examination of the entire process. Now, don't forget, you call it a peace mission. The mindset of these officers and men were to go and find out what the problems are and to find out why their men were kept behind. So their mind was not to go and fight. That's what you must understand. You call it a peaceful mission. They went for a peaceful mission to find out what was happening there and why the soldiers they sent here earlier, were held hostage. So they were not going with the mentality of going for an attack. If they were going for an attack, even as few as they were, you would not be able to surround them and dastardly murder them the way they did. So what played out here was that they led an ambush because they knew that that officer and those 3 men that were kept there, or they would have killed, had, been deliberately kept there. And their own was to go and find out what happened and why they were kept and how, to get them back to their units. So they fell into an ambush. Of course, this militia group have sophisticated weapons. And at that level, when you are ambushed, no matter how sophisticated you are, you will definitely have the consequence of an ambush. But that again, calls for to mind the need for training and retraining, because you must know the local environment at which you are operating. But you see, we have what we call institutional failure in all sectors. Let me tell you the causative factors of this insecurity that is everywhere. One is the proliferation of small arms and light weapons all over the place. 2, the menace of drug abuse. 3, the lack of governance in these states. Now, I heard they have what they call small arms and light weapons center domicile in the NSA's office. What are they bringing on board? You don't domicile such an outfit in an office like that. They are supposed to come out, go to these various places and retrieve these arms. We must rejig our institutions, not just by giving them names and domicile them somewhere. 2, what is the National Orientation Agency doing? To reorientate our psyche. This hatred, this unnecessary and unwanted senses of killing people aimlessly without any, meaningful reason should also be addressed. 3, some of these governors have homologous security votes. What do you do with this homologous security vote if the basic life of your community is continuously threatened? Communal clashes are abound everywhere without a meaningful response from the government. Look, let's get serious.
Do you worry, as many Nigerians are, that things could further degenerate in those communities, particularly with reports coming through that Bomadi and Ughelli local government areas, where the incident occurred, have been cordoned off? Whatever that means, we really do not understand. But do you worry that operatives there could take laws into their own hands because their comrades have been killed? And how can that be nipped in the bud?
Nigeria Army is a professional outfit. Our rules of engagements are very clear. But one thing is clear here is that the rifle of a soldier is his first wife. Wherever that rifle is missing, they will get it. So the cordon as such is aimed at getting those weapons that they seized after murdering those officers and men. So we have to get those weapons back. The weapon, those rifles and other weapons of the soldiers are their first wives. So nobody finds his wife missing and just allow it to be laid to rest. So the mission here is to retrieve those weapons, and they will retrieve those weapons. Please, we should be careful the way we address issues like this and pontificate. Because I read on social media, the Nigerian Army has gone to raise down that community. You are emphasizing raising down a community without understanding, the complex nature of what has happened and the attendant effect on the psyche of the military. They are there to cordon up and search that place for their weapons, and it must be understood at that.
And anything could happen in that mix. Are there any guarantees that there won't be loss of lives while they try to retrieve those weapons?
If there was an incident of a reprisal, a plan for reprisal, after how many days this happened, you know that it would have been a different thing altogether. They are there to cordon and search the environment, retrieve their weapons, and maybe, with pains, retrieve the remnants of those soldiers that were slaughtered like chicken and their stomach ripped off and all that. This is a professional outfit, and the rules of engagements are clear. And the authorities of the military had given a very clear orders. Go and retrieve those weapons and make sure that you retrieve those slaughtered gallant men and women. I do not see any reprisal coming in at this stage, and I don't think the Nigerian Army is primed for that kind of reprisal.
All right, General, before we expand the conversation further, who do you think is responsible for that inferno, that raising of that community? Because the people are suspecting is maybe soldiers are not happy about the incident that came through. In your suspicion or in your assessment, who could be responsible?
That is why they have set up an investigation. They have set up an investigation, to unravel the circumstances that surrounded the whole incident and the attendant effect. I do not think the Nigerian Army will go into raising a community. What happens is that there's what they also call, Scotch tactics of these non-state actors. When they feel that they are losing it and they do not want, the security agencies, to have a clear understanding of what is happening or to have a meaningful, intelligence as to finding out the weapons used, the type of caliber of weapons used and all that, they may decide to even raise the place. It's called Scotch tactics. You waste everything you have so that the soldiers coming will not have any valuable information to pick from there. So I'm not saying categorically that these are the people that did it, but thank God investigation has been ordered and all these things will be found out and the issue of speculation will be over.